Hi, I'm Marlo from Wild Food UK. We're out foraging. It's actually the middle of March, although it looks like the middle of December or January, in the cold snap. To end all cold snaps, the beast from the east has hit, and we've had the coldest start to March in history. But there are still mushrooms to find. So I've come to a spot that I know, and a fallen tree underneath this snow here. I've just managed to dig out what are some perfectly edible grey oysters. A little bit the worse for wear for the cold, but these are going to be some nice mushrooms on toast later. Pleurotus austriatus. I've done a full video on oyster mushrooms before though. There is another mushroom on this tree though that, although we find it all year and we find it very commonly, I've never done a video of before, and it's down here. It's these fellas growing on the same tree, which, if you can get a close-up of the wood here, or just zoom in slightly on the wood, you'll see that the wood of this tree is quite pale, and that's because it's an elder tree, which means that these mushrooms are wood ear mushrooms or cloud ear mushrooms, Auricularia auricula-judae. They're a mushroom that is edible and can be found all year round. They've got a very strange jelly-like texture though. They're not a mushroom that has a texture like any other mushroom you've probably ever eaten, and that means that for me, they don't really lend themselves to too many dishes in Western cooking. You can see why they get the name the wood ear though. They look very much like an ear. Now, these mushrooms can always be found hanging down, unlike their Pazizali cousins, the Pazizas and other different members of the family, which generally will have the kind of cup shape pointing upwards so that you can see the cup. These, as you can see on all of them here, the cup and the ears are hanging down. Now, they're an easy mushroom to identify because, as far as I know, nothing else that looks like them, that hangs down like this, grows on an elder tree. So really, for me, your key identifier with these mushrooms isn't actually the mushroom itself, it's the tree that they're growing from. And they grow incredibly commonly in Britain on almost every bit of fallen elder that you will find, which makes them also very easy to farm in your own garden. If you find a chunk of wood like this, elder wood, on the floor covered in wood ears, all you've got to do is take that chunk of wood home and put it in amongst a load of other elder wood, and you should quite easily create yourself an elder farm. Now, at this time of year, they're actually at their healthiest, not because of the snow, but around January, February, March is when we find them very hydrated and at their most jelly-like. So you can see the sort of jelly-like inside to the mushroom there. And they do have that sort of strange, tough, jelly-like texture when you eat them, if you have a nibble of them raw, for example. But most of the year, throughout the rest of the year, they'll still be alive and on the tree. They'll just be dehydrated. So you'll see this maybe an eighth of the size and hard and wrinkly and anywhere from sort of deep red to almost purpley black or browny black. And that's my favourite way to pick them, because most of the time when you want to use them in cooking, you want to use them dehydrated and then rehydrate them in whatever stock you're cooking with, or they're particularly widely used in Oriental cooking. So if you've got some recipe books that say you've got to get some cloud ears, you could go down to Tesco's and spend a £5 note on a small packet of dried cloud ears or wood ears, or you could literally just walk to the nearest elder tree and check for any fallen elder branches around it. Elders are particularly weak wood, so a bit of advice: never climb an elder tree. But what that does mean is that there's always a bit of dead elder around, a few broken branches, because the wind can take them down, and so can other different things. So there's normally dead elder around a live elder tree, and if there is, then you're likely to find wood ears or cloud ears on those bits of elder. A mushroom that you can find feeling perfectly fresh and perfectly healthy and perfectly edible in the snow that you can see around us. So an interesting one. Not one of my culinary favourites, but I don't do much oriental cooking, so that's probably why. Anyway, if you want to find out more, go to www.wildfooduk.com.